We have
Hello.
liftoff.
Yes, we do. Good morning. Hello. How's it
Hello.
going?
Hi. You said you had a story.
I do.
Yeah. Just tell me.
It's the most exciting thing that's happened in my life this week. So yesterday, my husband's leaving for work, and then I was doing something, and I just like not that I really heard anything, but I just had this weird feeling. I was like, did he just come back up the driveway? My little spidey senses were tingling. So I go to the front door, and then all of a sudden somebody starts pulling on the door, and I'm like, all right, so I'm either about to get kidnapped or I was right. He's pulling back up. So anyways, it's him, and he's like, the car just lit up like a Christmas tree, and I was like, the car's on fire? Like what? And he's like, "No, there's lights on the dash, like, these are all the lights that are going on." I was like,
Oh,
"Okay, weird." So I'm like, "Hey, give me a second." So, like, I get on my, like, snow stuff, it's, like, freaking -20 outside. So I go
yeah.
outside, he's, like, showing me, and I'm like, "Okay, that's, like, super weird considering he literally, like, parked the car the night before and then got in the next morning and there's this issue." So he was like, "It also, like, kinda feels weird when I drive, like,
Oh,
okay, because
no.
you know when you put your car in drive, it, like, kinda starts going, right? Like, it kinda, like, pulls automatically without touching the gas, 'kay. So I'm, like, standing behind the car, he, like, does that, and then he, like, drives forward, and he gets out of the car, he's like, "Look, the car's not even moving, and I'm in drive," and then he backs back up, and I was like, "The back tire isn't even turning, like, you're literally just, like, dragging it, like, it's not turning at all." I was like, "That's so weird." So I was like, "Well," I was like, just take the other car, like, take the truck to work. I'll cancel my appointment today and, like, we'll figure it out, whatever." So, like, he does that, and then I go on to ChatGPT. I'm like, "Hey, like, here's the situation, like, what's going on?" And then he calls our mechanic too, and they're like, "Yeah, like, you probably have to get it towed, like, could be this, could be that, blah, blah, blah." So, at lunch, they were like, "Hey, maybe, um, it just, like, froze, like, the caliper on the brake pad, and Spencer uses the parking even though the car's an automatic, he uses the parking brake every time he parks because he used to drive standard, so it's habit." So anyways, lunchtime, I get out an extension cord, bring out the blow dryer, like, set up a cooler, sit on it, and I'm, like, there just, like, warming up the brake, and I fixed the car. I unfroze it, and now it's working. And so, like, all the lights that were on, so I'm like, I FaceTime Spencer, I set up my phone, I'm like, and I have my headphones on, I'm like, "Hey, watch the tire. Is it turning?" He's like, "Yeah, it is." I'm like, "Okay." So I take it, like, down the road a little, come back, and, like, just by driving it, all the lights turned off because 'cause they're like, "Oh, okay, we're fine now, we're turning."
Yeah.
And he drove the car this morning, and everything's fine. I'm like, "Did I just fix the car? Am I a
Yeah.
mechanic now? I guess
Yeah.
so.
Would you like to come fix my car?
Maybe. What's going on?"
The windshield washer fluid stopped spraying,
It's probably frozen at the little thing at the top.
but
So
there's no, like, ice there.
you should get, like, a Q-tip or even your finger and, like, warm it up a little bit because
But
it
it's the
happens in
back
one of
and
our
the
vehicles
front.
too.
Back and the front is not working.
Do you have the windshield washer fluid that is for, like, -50
Yes.
for sure?
Like, it's mixed, but yes.
Ooh,
But how am I supposed to
that
get
might
the
be your
summer
issue.
stuff out without using it all up?
I mean, that's valid. You might have to, wait for a warm day. Are you going anywhere that you can park in, like, a warm parking garage or something? It's probably frozen. Even we bought the big ass jug -50 and it was frozen in our vehicle, and we're like, "Why are you
It's
frozen?"
literally
Because
that.
like
Like, okay.
yeah, in the
Someone
jug, but yeah, our
yeah.
one vehicle always freezes at the, like, exit point, just in the front. I think the back usually works. I have to turn on the heat just at the front, like, full blast for, like, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes when I'm driving, and then it starts working again.
'Cause I thought if it was frozen, it would, like, work with the engine heat at least,
It should eventually. That's why
right?
you could always try just, like, warming up the, like, exit. Have you tried adding more into your reservoir? Like, fill
Yep.
it all the way up?
Filled it all up. Apparently, there's, like, a pump that could be broken, lines could be something. I don't know.
It
It's, like, the dumbest thing I had to make an appointment for, but we do actually have a topic today.
We do.
I do.
We do. Last episode, we
Yeah.
talked about doing things that feel aligned, having flow and
Yep.
ease. So today we're going to talk about exit planning,
Yeah.
knowing when something's no longer for you and planning for it for a successful execution. Because you know us, we love a good rebrand. We love hitting the reset button, not just business or jobs. Could be relationships, cities, houses, identities, habits, anything.
Yeah. And there's so many, like you said, relationships, jobs, everything. You can actually unsubscribe at any time and make a change.
Did you see the, Instagram meme this year when it was like, "Congratulations, you've moved into, like, 2026 with me," or something like that? Kinda like
Yeah,
so good.
your friendship subscription has been renewed.
Yes,
No
correct, yes,
takey
that's what it was,
backsies.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, literally. What comes to mind for you for this?
so much, so much. Obviously, everyone knows like I planned and exited my marriage. Almost every like I've never quit a job on the spot. I've always planned it out. And there was one job I planned for like 6 weeks. There was just a moment in time and I was like, guess this is not for me anymore because it was like a huge value. I was like, what is happening here is not
Mm,
right. And
mm,
so I am not going to work here.
yep. Now, when you're leaving a job, do you always find a new one first, or do you just say, "Fuck it"?
Done both. I've
Mm.
also yeah, I've also like when I got restructured before and so I just had nothing for a good 6 weeks.
Oh, wow.
That was scary.
That can be scary.
That's what
Yep.
emergency funds are for though.
Was so true, and, a lot of people are going through that right now, like, you probably saw there was, like I think I saw a headline that 18,000, like, federal workers were given notice that their job could be cut. Yeah, I really hope everyone has emergency funds in place for times like that to make it a little bit easier. It's never gonna be easy, but we've talked about it before. Sometimes it can actually turn out being a positive redirection.
Mhm, mhm, mhm. So what happened at this particular job is that so the way that it was structured, there's like the store manager, it was retail, store manager, and then like department managers, right? And then just the rest of us. And so there was a particular department manager who was, and we had headsets so we could talk to each other throughout the store. And so there was this one guy who was very like, I don't know, outgoing. Everyone the kind of like person, and I hate to say it, but this is true, who everyone kind of expected that he was gay, but like just was not telling everyone or like didn't know himself really what was going on. And which is fine. Who cares? Like you do you. We don't need to like labels are not a thing. But there's one department manager who would say things on the heads. So like I'll just tell you exactly what happened. So I was doing something and I had all my hands full, all two of them. And someone asked me a question on the headset but I couldn't press the button because I have my hands full of like
Mhm.
yarn or something. And so I said, "Can you just tell her no?" And so as a joke, he said, "Hi, this is Hazel. Nope, can't help you. Sorry."
Aw.
Hilarious, right? Like, and then this department manager was like, "Hey, hope your sex change goes really well." And I was like, "You can't say this in the workplace."
It's kind of just, like, uncalled for, like, there could be a time and place where it's funny, but, like, that's not it.
No.
Like, what?
No,
Like, where
and
did that come
so
from?
and she was like, "I could say whatever I want. I'm in charge." And I was like, "That's not how this works." And so I
You're
just
also leading by example, being the
yeah.
manager,
And
so
so and there were many instances like that between these 2 individuals, and I was the
Mm.
only one in the entire store that was like, "Hello, this is not okay." And so what happened and it was really like human rights bad, like harassment bad about sexuality. And so I just went like to the store manager and I said, "Hey, like these things happen when you're not here and it like they're really uncomfortable and like really breaking some rules here. Like you might want to get on top of it."
Mhm.
And he said, "Yeah, okay." The conversation that was had wasn't don't say these things anymore. It was don't say these things in front of Hazel. And
That's
in
crazy.
it was not done in a um confidential environment. Everyone heard that
Mhm.
just like I
Yeah.
was making problems.
Yeah.
And so I heard that everyone heard that I was making problems. And so the district manager's phone number is like on the wall in the break room, right? She's like, "Call me if anything is like wrong." And so I was like, "I guess that's what I'm doing." Anyway, they all got in trouble. Like store manager, department manager, they got written up. Good.
Mhm.
but then, like, I was ostracized,
Yeah, of course.
right? And so due to all that, I was like, "You know, this is not the environment for me."
Mhm.
And it was, like, June or July, and I said, "I'll ride out the summer, and then I'm out of here."
Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
You
and
should have
then
just left then and enjoyed your summer.
honestly, maybe, but, like, the relationship I was in and financially, like, that was not gonna be a great idea for me.
No, I know, that's fair.
Yeah,
Easier said than done.
yeah. So I actually that's when I signed up to go to back to college. I was like, "I'm gonna go to school,"
Mm,
and I got my social service worker degree. But yeah, it's a very good example of just being like, "I don't know what's happening, but I don't like it, and I'm
mhm.
leaving."
Yep.
Yeah, and
That's good that you did that.
I was like, "Where are people like, where are the morals? Like, where is" it was a very confusing situation, to be honest. And I know, like, in the Ottawa Valley, like, attitudes are different, right? Like, far more white people, far more, like, less tolerant people overall,
Mhm,
but
mhm.
that's really bad
Yeah,
to
it's just
publicly shame
uncalled
someone
for.
for their suspected sexuality.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that guy stayed, to be honest.
I mean, fair. Yeah. Well, and actually, that's what I was gonna say is, like, it's good that you recognize, like, "Ooh, this is making me uncomfortable, and this isn't an environment that I wanna be in because this doesn't align with my values." There's nothing worse than when someone stays in a situation that they know isn't right or doesn't feel good, but they stay there anyways and stay there way longer than they should
Yeah.
because sometimes it's, more comfortable. Even though it's uncomfortable, it's more comfortable because it's something you're familiar with. You have fear of like what to do next, even people pleasing, like feeling like you should stay there or
Or,
not change.
like, going along with things just because,
Yeah, actually, that's a
right?
good point too. Like, a lot of people probably wouldn't have stood up for what they believed in like you did.
Like a bystander effect, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, someone else can deal with it. I'm just gonna pretend it's okay,
yeah,
smile and nod, move on.
yeah, and you know what? Now that I think of it, after that day when that person was like, "Blah, blah, blah, your sex changed, blah, blah, blah," there was a cashier who didn't come like, she just stopped showing up the next day,
Right.
and
That's the other thing, right? Like, you don't know what's going on with other people. Maybe they were considering a sex change and that, like, hit them the wrong way, or,
who
right, they had a
yeah,
like, whatever it was, but it's like, it's just like, I don't know, things like that. It's like there's certain things that are just, like, off limits, especially in the workplace where it's like, "We don't need to talk about this, we don't need to know," and
right.
you don't know what's going on with other people, so just because it's a joke to you doesn't mean it is to other
Guess
people.
what? This no matter what, this person can still, like, organize craft supplies, like, it's not a thing, who cares?
100%.
Ridiculous. But yes, very clear, like, not aligned exit.
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah. Extreme example, but
yeah, I mean, you handled it well, and, like, you're pretty strategic about it in terms of, like, "Okay, what am I gonna do next? I'm gonna go to school." Like, you could have made it a lot more dramatic and been like,
I guess so.
"F
Me?
you, I'm out, see you later."
Yeah. I think when I make big decisions like that, once I've made the decision, there's, like, no more
Mhm.
emotion in it, you know?
Same. Yes. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Like, sometimes I sit on a decision for a little while to make sure I'm not
Yeah.
being impulsive,
You should always
but
sleep on
then
it. Okay.
yeah, but then once I'm like, "No, this is it," it's like, I'm sticking to it, like, even, like, leaving relationships, like, I remember my, like, previous relationship, I had just, yeah, made up my mind, I was like, "That's it, I'm leaving, done," and then when we finally had that conversation, I just remember him, like, crying and so upset and blah, 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 and just, like, sitting there so, like, straight-faced and unemotional because I was just like, I'm so like, you can't say anything to change my mind, like, it's
Yeah.
made up, so and I just, yeah, felt very unemotional about it because it was like, "My mind's made up, I'm not changing my mind," and oh my god, it's so classic though, like, there's I just have to say it, like, in relationships, it's like, you share feedback and like, "Hey, this isn't what's working for me," and you give them opportunities to, like,
Yeah.
fix it, to
Just
change, and
communication.
then Yeah,
Yeah.
and then, like, things might be different for a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, and they slide back into their old ways, and then it's like when you finally reach the point where it's like, "No, I'm leaving, my mind's made up,"
Mhm.
then they take it seriously.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yes.
just like, I hear it with friends too, and it just, like, makes me laugh because I'm like, "Why couldn't you have cared from the beginning?" Like,
I've
it's
heard
just,
'em
like,
yeah.
so classic, and I'm just like, "Why? What's wrong with you?"
I've heard a man explain this actually, and it's very
Oh,
eye-opening. I'm not gonna be able to do a good job here, but it's like, why would I change when you always let me, like, regress? And,
mm,
like, why would I care when you don't uphold the boundary or whatever it is? He's like, "You give me so many chances. How was I supposed to know this is the last one? I thought there would just be more chances forever." Like, that's actually what some men think.
they yeah, and you know what? I'm sure it's the same with some women too, like, I'm sure it
Yeah,
goes both ways, but it's
yeah.
just like, I don't know, it's still just like every time I hear of that, I literally just, like, insert eye roll because 'cause I'm like, "Classic." Like, if you really cared, you would have changed. Because like, I just think about, like, my relationship, like, I haven't been perfect, and when my husband, even before we were married, gave me feedback, like, I took it seriously because I knew I wanted to be in the relationship. So, like, that's the other thing, it's like, well, if you do regress or go back, it's like, well, you don't really care then. Like if someone sat you down and had a serious conversation and said, "Look, this isn't working. This certain thing I need you to change or work on or whatever." It's like, I don't know. Take some accountability, man. Like,
Yeah.
anyways.
Relationships are different too because although there's 2
Mhm.
people, you can still make a decision, like, on your own for yourself, right? Like,
Yes.
either party could leave. I mean, I guess working is the same, like, getting fired or quitting or restructuring or whatever, but
Mhm.
I think it's a little bit different in a relationship because, like, both parties have to want to be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, for it to be successful, I mean, there's a lot of people that stay together that don't really wanna be together, but
Yeah,
again, they're
sure.
just comfortable and, like, too scared to leave.
Yeah, or, so many barriers could be in the way of leaving, but, like,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's very, very interesting. I remember when I told my ex-husband that I didn't even say I was leaving so much. I said, "I'm not living at our house anymore, and we're not gonna be married going forward." And he cried, and he said, "It's not fair you made this decision without me." And I said, "I do what I want."
Hazel motherfucking Smith, and I do whatever the fuck I want.
Well, I just wasn't interested in engaging on the why.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Well, and I think that's the thing is you're allowed to do that. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be mutual. 'Cause and that's where, like, sometimes there's things that are negotiable, and it
Mhm,
becomes a conversation of, like, "Here's what I need to be able to move forward or rebuild our relationship,"
mhm.
but sometimes that's not possible, and sometimes you just frankly don't want to, where it's like, "No, I'm done.
Yeah, he would have
We're
had to
not
do
rebuilding anything."
he would have had to do so much work, and I just you can't also can't undo things that have already been done. So, like,
100%.
for me, workplace or people, like, it once I can't or don't trust you, I don't even know if I can
Mhm.
get that back, to be honest.
Yes. Yep.
And so
No,
in a
I'm
row
the same.
yeah, and so his opinion of that was, "Well, I'm your husband, you should just always trust me," and I said, "I should just blindly trust you? That sounds dangerous
No.
for me."
Yeah. 100% no.
Some workplaces
As
are like
your
that too.
husband, it's up to him to prove that he is trustworthy, like, almost
Yeah,
continuously. Yeah.
yeah. I think and so this particular workplace that I've already spoken about, their attitude was very similar. They were like, "Do what you're told. This is how we work. When you ask questions, it's not good."
That's crazy.
Kind of, because I did also get written up for being like, "This rule doesn't make sense. I'm not following it." And they were like, "You need to follow the rules." And I was like, "This is the dumbest rule ever." And then they were writing me up, and then they brought a loss prevention officer in, and I was like, over a picture frame that was broken. It was
Get it.
I don't know. Yeah. And I was like and then yeah, so anyway, that blew over, and the advice I was given was just keep your head down. And I was why I didn't leave after that, I don't know. Because I know why. Because in that area, I guess, it's like I don't know even if this is true, but it's the rumor, I guess, was that it's really hard to find a full-time job. So if you have one, you gotta keep it.
Yeah, I mean, small town vibes, right? Like, that could totally be yeah, totally be real, which is quite fortunate now that, like, we have the possibility of remote work too.
Mm.
It really opens up the possibilities, and hopefully less people are in situations like that because there are more options out there now that you don't have to feel as stuck in a job if you are in a small community.
Yeah, I think it's a very kinda like technology or like Facebook. If you didn't grow up with it, you don't know you're less familiar with it, you don't know how it works. I feel like remote work is like that too. Like, there's gonna be a certain generation of people that's like, "What is remote work? It's a joke. It doesn't make any sense. If you don't go to a workplace,
Yep.
how are you working?
Yes.
Where do you even find these jobs?" Right? But there's a whole population of people finding remote jobs, trust me.
Mhm. Yep. No, it's true. Yeah, and that's kind of a whole other discussion around, like, a growth mindset on, like, being open to possibilities and learning new things. Like, my dad, he's in his 50s, and he's taking online computer classes, and I'm like, "Damn, like, good for you," because he didn't grow up with technology at all. Like, he's always worked with his hands his entire career, the last I don't know what, 30 plus years, and he's learning it, and, like, if my dad can learn computers, like, anybody can, right? So, it's
Supposed to be learning
crazy.
I'm supposed to be doing an AI course, but I don't have time. I'm supposed
Mm,
to do it for work, but I don't have time right now. But there's a lot of things like AI tools can do a lot for you.
mhm.
So learning how to use
For
them and
sure.
use them appropriately, we're very off topic
Yes,
already. But
we are. Well, yeah, we did take a little turn there. Maybe let me write that down. I would like to chat about that a bit more. When are you gonna do your AI course? Because 'Cause I'd be curious to hear what you learned.
after I hire and get that person up and running, and
Mm.
I'm not doing 2 jobs.
Fair, because I think there's a lot of information out there about AI, obviously a very hot topic right now and how to use it, but I think us talking about it might help, like, the everyday person who doesn't need something crazy be like, "Okay, how do I actually use it to save me time?" I showed it to my husband's mom the other day. She was doing her, what's it called, performance review, and she was, like, stuck, and I, like, walked her through it. She's like, "Damn, that was awesome." And it was just so simple. Yeah, well, put a pin in that for a future conversation.
Okay, put it on the list. Exit planning, moving, that's a big one too. You're like,
And probably one of my favorites, like, not just because of my, like, most recent move, but
it's because it's your
just,
chance
like,
to
looking
reinvent yourself, okay? I know Kristen very well,
one
how much she loves moving.
you do. Yeah, 100%. It is though, like, it's the easiest way, and, like, I went through it, I'm sure, like, moving to a new city where no one knows you. You can be whoever you want, like, they don't know you.
Yeah,
It's not like you grew up with them and they've known you since you were a kid, and you've just always been that type of person and fit in this little box. They have no idea who you are, what your story is, what your dreams are, what your goals are, nothing. They know nothing. You can literally be whoever the fuck you want.
yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Okay, listen, no one here knows that I'm a professionally trained opera singer, and it's nice.
Yes.
Not that I'm hiding it, but what happens no, I had my neighbors in one day, they looked at my piano, looked at the book on top of it that literally says opera, and they were just like, "Oh, do you play piano?" And I said, "I could, maybe." It's been a while. But, so what happens is that people are always asking me to, volunteer and sing things, but it's things I don't wanna sing, things that are not in my range, it just sometimes they try and guilt you into it, and it's just, a whole thing. And so for the last, 9 months, really enjoying not having to deal with that.
Yeah, that's so fair.
Yeah. And then one day I'll
It
have a concert here, and they'll be like, "What the fuck?"
I was gonna say, it must be so hard to, like, hide your talents.
I have so many talents, okay? And they can't handle
That's what
any
I
more
mean.
talents. They already call me
I
circus lady.
know. Yeah.
They've already got me signed up to perform at the waterfront sometime.
I showed Spencer last night over dinner some of your, because I told him that you're competing in competition
Yeah,
soon,
yeah.
and I said, "For hoop, like aerials," and he's like hula hoop?" And I was like, "No, let me show you," and I didn't really know how to, like, describe it, so I showed him, and he's like, "Oh my god, that takes so much strength," and I was like, "I know."
I know. I will never know if my future husband likes me for me or for my massive shoulders.
Little bit of both, you know?
Probably. I mean, I like my massive shoulders. I was just doing
Yeah.
this last night and my lats were like popping out and I was like, "Oh my god, do I look like a
Mhm.
gymnast? Am I like do I have like a strong physique?" Never in my life.
100%.
I've always been so like thin. This is like I'm gonna say like the best part of like being heavier is that you have more muscle.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being heavier, especially if it is muscle. Because
I mean, it's not
yeah,
all
the
muscle.
last year you've been no, but you've been focused, you've been disciplined, like, you're in your rebrand era right now, like,
My
you
god.
are becoming a
Okay,
gymnast, like,
listen. What day is it? 2 days ago, Saturn went into Aries, something like that. I don't know. All I know is that Aries are like taking over for the next 15 years or something.
ooh,
I was like, "Okay."
okay.
Yeah, and
You're
then
like, "I'm ready for
I
it, like,
know.
I've been training my whole life for this."
And then I was even practicing my like stage makeup last night, and then I looked in the
Mhm.
mirror while I was like, "Well, let's just see if it like holds up with like sweat and stuff." And I was like, "Why do I?" It was like a power up. It was like, I was like, "I'm so fierce. Look
Mm,
at me go!" And then I was spitting too fast, and I
yeah.
was like, "Okay, Hazel, you need to rein it in. You still need control here."
Yeah, that's so funny. Love it. I love it. Um, how how do I phrase this?
Spit it out.
When it comes to, like, exit planning, like, I guess what comes after the exit is, like, a new beginning.
Mhm.
Have you like, the confidence shift that happens. I feel like you felt that. You seem are incredibly confident, and I don't know if you always have been, because obviously we've only known each other for, like, a year. Like, have you? Because I know that I like, through my identity shifts, like, I am sorry, my dog just made a weird noise. He has his stupid cone on. He has an ear infection right now. He's mad at me. But I can hear him, like, hitting walls as he's walking down the hallway.
He has
But
no
anyways, like,
cone
through some of
awareness.
he has 0, and it drives me crazy, like, you're standing there, and he'll come ram the back of your legs.
Yeah,
It's lovely.
the poor guy.
But so through, like, exit planning
Mhm.
becomes a new beginning when you do make that next step, and obviously the confidence shift isn't always immediate. Sometimes it can be years later, sometimes it could be a decade later. But I know I have felt it. I don't know, right now, probably one of my most confident versions of myself. So, like, how's that been for you?
Let me take you on a journey.
Let's go down memory lane.
Yeah. So I feel like here's what happened. So, like, growing up, confident, and then confidence squashed so that I was more controllable. And then I probably appeared confident into the outside world, especially when I was married, but my home life was just so not good that like I was like there was like a big disconnect there. And then once I left that part of my life behind, that's when I started to build and build confidence again. But it was things like pole dancing, aerial training, CrossFit, yoga, acro yoga. Like those are the things that help me build confidence. Spartan racing.
Ooh. I love that everything you're saying are all physical activities and how, like, doing the physical activity gave you also, like, mental confidence.
Yeah, well, so I think when you are what's a good word? How to describe this? I think, like, for a woman, when your physical safety is compromised, you look to make that up in other ways. So, like, that for sure, that's what I was doing. So I could be stronger than any other person who would try something like that, right?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. But like the confidence of like when I moved back to Ottawa and I was like, I'm just gonna have my own business. And then within a week, I had 3 clients for like social media stuff. I was like, okay, I guess this is a good move. Or even the confidence of like, I think it has a lot to do with the people that are surrounding you too.
Yep.
You know, like
Yeah.
if you have people who are always, like, picking at you or bringing you down in a way, like, that's gonna really affect your confidence. You need people around you who are, like, "Yes, girl, you could do anything. We're all delusional. It's fine."
Yeah, I totally agree. The people around you are so important. Yeah, because I think about that a lot too of, like, when I was my least confident was typically, like, in school. Like, even Yeah, public school, high school, arguably even college,
But,
like,
like
just feeling a little bit more self-conscious, but
yeah,
then it's been I don't know, after that, because I think then you have, like, even not that you'll always have choice working, but when you're done school, you start to have a lot more choice about the people
yeah,
around you,
yeah,
and that's when I felt my confidence grow. Other reasons too, but definitely the people around you have a huge influence on that.
yeah. I definitely remember, like, my mom saying, like, "Well, since you've been hanging out with so and so, you're so much more outspoken," which I think for her was a problem, but for me, it's like, I'm just more confident in saying what I think.
Yeah.
That should be a good thing.
Yeah, and not for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair.
Yes, but like you, most confident version now.
Yeah, and, like, I hear that from a lot of women specifically, that as they get older, they're like, "My" well, I feel that already. I'm like, "My 30s are way better than my 20s so
Yeah.
far." Like, I feel better, I enjoy life way more, and then I hear from women in their 40s, 50s, 60s that they're like, "Just wait, like,
Yeah.
it just keeps
They're
getting
like,
better and
everything
better,"
gets
and I'm like,
more
"Let's go."
fabulous.
Yeah, which is amazing, and it's so exciting because there's a lot of, like, negative stuff about aging, and I'm like, "No, so far it's been great. Let's just, like, keep this going. Let's make it better and better."
I said to one of one of my coworkers said this, and she was like, "Wait till you get my age, you're gonna be unstoppable." I said, "I'm already unstoppable. How does it get even better? This is so exciting."
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yes. Oh my god. I love that. That's so cool. Sorry, excuse me. So, what advice would you give to somebody who's maybe scared to leave? They know they need to make a change, but they're scared to do it. Scared of what's next, scared to do it. What advice are you giving them?
My advice is if you can find, like, one trusted person to help you plan it, whatever it is, like relationship, work, whatever.
Yep,
Like,
breaking a
just
habit,
yeah, one
whatever.
person who can be, like, in your corner will be so it will make such a big difference.
Yep. I love that.
Yeah, and I would
I
say to everyone else is to be the friend who people can call to be in their corner.
I love that 100%. Yeah. Like your own personal cheerleader. Like, cause that's the thing. It's like sometimes it's easier when someone else believes in you even when you don't believe in yourself. And if you
Mhm.
have someone that you can ask to be that person for you and just be open to being vulnerable. Share with them what you want to change. You don't even have to tell them why. Tell them what you want to change and what your goal is next and just ask them. Like, can you be there for me every step of the way? When I call you and I'm scared, when I don't wanna go forward, can you be there to support me to make the change? That's great advice. And Hazel,
Yes.
what's something that you're evaluating? What's on your exit plan list right now? If anything. Maybe there's nothing. I don't know.
I don't really think there's anything right now that I wanna get out of. I wanna get out of, like, extra contract work that I don't enjoy. We talked about that last week.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, but, like, the plan is just I had to sit down with myself and say, "Stop saying yes," and then I said, "Okay." But then I did tell a friend, I said, "If you hear me talking about this
Mm,
particular thing again, just remind me that how, like, frustrating it was this time."
yeah,
And she said, "No problem."
good. Are you still open to, like, just something that aligns better
Yeah,
with, like, what you actually wanna do?
yeah, exactly.
If someone wanted to hire you for, aerial performance for, like, a birthday or something, would you say yes?
Okay, but here's the thing. I don't think people understand. Like, I can only perform for like 3 minutes at a time. Like, I can't do this for 30 minutes. I would die.
Yeah. That's so valid.
So, actually, probably what needs to happen is I need a buddy and we need to like back and forth, right?
Yes.
And performing and competing is different. Like, I could do, like, I don't have to do dynamic things. I don't need to do hard things. I just need to do pretty things.
Yep, that's fair.
And if I
Yep.
do the same thing, like, multiple times, no one really cares. In a competition, they'll be like, "Why'd you do this 3 times? We saw
Yes.
it the
No,
first time."
totally true.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I love it. I love it, I love
Yeah.
it.
Any
So,
exits in your future? You just move. That was a big exit.
that was a big exit. So this coming weekend will be the official farewell, the last time leaving our old house. And before moving, while we were still in our house, I literally could have just cried thinking about the last time leaving our house. But now being in our new house already, like, because 'cause we've had that overlap, I'm so ready. Like, I don't know, maybe I will get a little sad. There's a lot of memories there, obviously, but, um, I'm ready for the new chapter. It feels good. But other than that, I don't know. Like, I guess from like a habit standpoint, there's certain things like in 2025 that I definitely decentered from my life. Like one thing is like drinking, which like I've never like I'm not big in drinking at all. Haven't been for a while. Not a party girl anymore at all.
Mhm.
But even the like occasional like overdoing it, yeah, I'm so over it. I'm so over it that I'm just like, it's I don't know, something that, like, no longer aligns, and it's been, like, fully left in the past. Although it's been, like, a slow transition already, I think that's something I'm just like, done with it, and anything that comes with it, and just, I don't know, maybe in my, like, healthy girl era, doing things that feel good, fuel you. It's no big dramatic exit, but it's just the little things, like, I don't know. Again, how life gets better, I think you kinda, like, learn what does feel good and what doesn't, and, like, life's too short to be unhappy, life is too short to not feel good, so I'm just gonna keep focusing on the things that do feel good. That's it,
It's all you can do.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, it's yeah, I mean, we could talk about growth mindset on an episode too. There's a really good book that I read. I think it's literally just called Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck. So original, but essentially having like the permission to outgrow things and everything about you is changeable. Like even though you're like, I've always been this way, you don't have to be. You can wake up tomorrow and not be that way. Even though you've had a certain habit, you don't have to carry that forward. Even though you've lived in the same place, even though you whatever, you can literally change anything at any time, and everything about you is changeable. Every skill is learnable. So it's like I find that permission to outgrow things that are no longer serving you is very freeing. And I think that's why when I think about exit planning right now, there's no big dramatic thing that I'm planning because I've been through that transition. I've made the big dramatic exits already. And now it's more about refining as I go because it's easy to take on little things and be like, ooh, actually don't like that. But it's like a small little, what's the word for it? Like,
Side
I don't know,
quest.
swerve.
Yeah.
Yeah, side quest. Yeah. It's just like a small little blip in time. It's not something big. So I don't know. That's where I'm at and feels good. Very peaceful.
Love that.
Thank you. This was a great episode.
It was.
I feel good. Ready to go slay the day.
Or something like it. I always slay the day, okay?
100%. 100%. All right, guys. Well, that's the pod.
Okay.
Go have a great day.
Bye.
And if you're planning a big exit, let us know. Hit us up
Yes.
on Instagram at Rebrand Pending Pod. Okay. Bye.
Toodaloo.